welcome back to the deep dive. I want to try something a little different today.
Oh.
Yeah, no preamble, no setup. Let's just jump straight into a visualization. If you're driving right now, please keep your eyes open.
Definitely keep your eyes open.
But for everyone else, just for a moment, I want you to close your eyes.
Let's go on a little trip.
Imagine you're a human being living exactly 1,000 years ago.
The year 1025 AD.
Exactly. Maybe you're in a little village in the Scottish Highlands, or, I don't know, the plains of the Serengeti, maybe along the banks of the Ganges.
And now you have to strip away the modern world.
Everything. No smartphone, no fMRI machines, no therapists. You don't even have a pharmacy down the street.
And this is the really important part. You don't have the words we use today. You don't have neurotransmitters. You don't have cortisol or adrenaline. You don't even have the concepts of a panic attack or clinical depression.
You are flying completely blind when it comes to your own psychology. But here's the kicker, and this is what really struck me in the research. The biology hasn't changed.
Not one bit. The hardware is exactly the same. So when you're terrified, your heart still feels like it's going to punch right through your ribs.
Right. And when you're heartbroken, your chest feels heavy, physically heavy, like it's full of lead.
When you're stressed, your gut just knots up.
So you have all these intense, overwhelming physical sensations, what we call, the human experience. But you have zero medical language to explain them to your kids.
Yeah, how do you do that? You can't say, honey, my sympathetic nervous system is just a little overactive because of a threat response.
That's impossible.
Right, if I have a lump in my throat because I'm holding back a secret, I can't explain the biology of the vagus nerve constricting my vocal cords. I'm sick, I'm stuck. I have to invent a language.
And that necessity right there, that gap between feeling and explaining.
Yeah.
That's where energy maps were born.
See, this is the pivot point for me. Because usually when we talk about energy maps, Indian chakras, Chinese meridians, Hawaiian mana.
Most people, and I'll include myself here sometimes, we put that straight in the woo-woo box.
It's easy to do. It sounds like magic or religion or, something for people who buy a lot of crystals.
It does. But the mission of this deep dive is to look at the source material without that mystical lens.
Right. If you strip away all the dogma and the centuries of tradition, what you find underneath are the original human user manuals.
A user manual. I love that.
These weren't prayers. They were incredibly sophisticated metaphorical languages designed to hack the body's own operating system.
That is the hook that got me obsessed with this whole stack of research. The idea that these ancient systems weren't about worshiping gods, but about self-regulation.
Exactly.
So that's what we're going to do. We're going to decode these maps. We need to figure out why some people can name every single chakra that are still completely miserable, and how you can actually read the signals your body is sending you.
And I think we have to start with the most basic question. Why do we even need a map? Why isn't just feeling the feeling enough?
Why do we have to label it? Yeah, I like the analogy in the intro notes about being lost in the forest. That really clarified it for me.
It's the best way to visualize it. Imagine you are lost in a dense, dark forest at night.
Okay.
There is a massive difference between the sensation of walking, your legs moving, branches hitting your face, the cold, the exhaustion, and having a map that points north.
Right. If I'm just walking without a map, the sensation is it's just suffering. It's chaos. I'm tired, I'm scared, and I have no idea if I'm just walking in circles.
Precisely. Feeling a strong emotion without a map is just suffering. It's noise. And our sources show that basically every ancient culture, from the Vedic traditions to the Yoruba in West Africa, built these systems to serve three very specific functions.
Okay, let's break those down. The first one is diagnosis.
Diagnosis. Naming the demon. It's about creating a container for the experience. If you wake up with a racing heart and you have no word for it, you might think, I am dying or I'm cursed.
Which is a terror response in itself.
A total terror response. But if you have a map, let's take that Tibetan model we looked at.
Okay.
A Tibetan medical map wouldn't say you are having a panic attack. It would say your wind element is acting like a startled horse.
Acting like a startled horse. I love that image. It's so descriptive.
And it's functional. Just by giving it that name, you move from I am broken to a system is misfiring. It immediately lowers the threat level.
Because you aren't the horse.
Yeah.
You're just watching the horse.
Exactly. Which leads right into the second function, prescription.
Okay, so once I know the wind is high, I know what to do about it.
It stops the guessing game.
Yeah.
In Chinese medicine, if you're irritable and shouting all the time, they don't just say calm down.
Right.
They connect that anger to the liver. In Indian medicine, if you feel ungrounded and fearful, they connect it to the root, your pale bone. You aren't just flailing anymore, you have a target.
But the third function, I think this is the one modern people really struggle with, agency.
Agency is the game changer. It moves you from being a victim of an emotion to making a choice about it.
How so?
There's this beautiful concept from the Yoruba culture in West Africa called
I've heard that word, but almost like saying amen at the end of something.
It's used that way sometimes, but it's much more active. Ao roughly translates to the power to make things happen.
Okay.
It reframes emotion entirely. Instead of sadness or anger being something that just happens to you, Ao sees it as potential energy. It asks, okay, this charge is here. How do I use this power to alter my reality?
So you're turning sensation into fuel.
You got it.
So we have diagnosis, prescription, agency. That's the why. Now I really want to get into the how, and we have to start with the big one.
The one everyone thinks they know.
The chakra.
The Indian system. The most famous and probably the most misunderstood.
I went down such a rabbit hole on this. I was shocked, actually, to find out that the word chakra originally had nothing to do with the human body at all.
That's a huge misconception, isn't it? We see the posters in yoga studios with the rainbow lights up the spine, and we just assume that's ancient scripture.
Yeah, thousands of years old.
But back in the Vedic era, we're talking over 3,000 years ago, chakra just meant wheel.
Oh, wheels.
But not a wheel of light, it was the wheel of a king's war chariot.
A war chariot.
Or on a cosmic scale, the wheel of time, the sun moving across the sky.
So it was a symbol of external power, of dominion over the world.
Dominion, control.
Yeah.
Crushing your enemies or ruling a kingdom. It was very external, very masculine. It was all about how you impose your will on the world around you.
So when did it go inside the body? When did it become about me?
That didn't happen until much, much later during the Tantra era, roughly between 500 and 1200 AD.
Okay.
The whole focus of the culture shifted from conquering the world to conquering the self. And they took this metaphor of the wheel, something that spins and drives movement, and they applied it to internal energy centers because, well, you felt that spinning sensation, right, when you're excited or anxious.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The butterflies in the stomach feel like a tumble dryer.
Exactly. They physically felt life force spinning, so the chariot wheel became the energy center.
And the whole 7 chakra system that you see on every Instagram wellness post.
That's actually pretty modern too, isn't it?
It is. The 7 chakra hierarchy really became the standard because of one specific text from the 16th century that got translated for the West in the 1900s.
Wow.
But before that, there were systems with 5 chakras, 9, even 12.
Which tells me the number doesn't matter nearly as much as the function. We get so hung up on, is my throat chakra the right shade of blue, that we miss the entire point.
Forget the colors. Just think of them as life functions.
Life functions.
The chakras are basically a biological operating system. The root isn't just a red light at your tailbone. It's the function of survival.
Do I have food? Am I safe?
Exactly. The heart is the function of connection. The head is wisdom and intellect.
So opening a chakra isn't about levitating. Not at all. It's about debugging your own code. It's about getting your survival instincts, your emotional needs, and your intellectual thoughts to actually talk to each other instead of fighting.
Because if your root is screaming, I'm not safe, your head can't do philosophy.
The whole system crashes.
That's a perfect segue into the global parallels. Because while India was focused on these centers, these stations, the Chinese system took a completely different approach.
Different engineering approach, yeah.
They didn't care about the station so much as the wiring between them.
The meridians. The Chinese model is fascinating. It views the body more like a hydraulic system or an electrical grid. The key concept is qi, or qi.
And the rule there is pretty simple. Flow equals health.
And stagnation equals sickness. If you have pain anywhere, Chinese medicine just assumes the qi is stuck.
And they also have the concept of the dantian.
Which are basically batteries, one in the belly, one in the chest, one in the head. And your job is to keep the batteries charged and the lines clear.
It feels much more industrial than the Indian system. Like you're maintaining a machine.
Yeah.
But I want to jump to the Tibetan model because out of all the sources, this one metaphor made the most sense to me for my own anxiety. The rider and the horse.
This is, in my opinion, one of the most practical psychological models ever invented.
Okay, lay it out for us.
So in the Tibetan view, your mind is a writer. But, and here's the catch, the writer is paralyzed.
Paralyzed.
He can see everything. He knows where he wants to go. He can plan the entire route. But he has no legs. He cannot move on his own.
And the energy, the wind, that's the horse.
That's the horse. The wind, which is intimately tied to your breath, is a blind horse.
Blind.
It has incredible strength, raw power, but zero direction. So the human condition is a paralyzed rider strapped to a blind horse.
That is painfully accurate. That describes every single panic attack I've ever had. My mind is the rider, screaming, calm down, we're just at a dinner party, everything is fine.
But your body, the horse is galloping full speed off a cliff.
And the rider is just along for the ride, helpless.
And the profound lesson from Tibet is that you cannot talk the horse into calming down. The rider yelling at the horse does nothing.
So what do?
You have to control the horse through the reins.
And the reins are the breath.
The reins are the breath. If your breath is chaotic, the horse bucks and the rider is helpless. If you calm the breath, the horse settles, and only then can the rider actually steer.
You can't think your way out of a panic attack.
You have to breathe your way out. It's biological hacking.
Let's travel to Egypt for a minute. They had a slightly different take on where the truth of the system lives. We think of the brain as the CEO, but they didn't, did they?
No, not at all. The Egyptians were deeply concerned with the heaviness of the spirit. They actually discarded the brain during mummification.
What?
Pulled it out through the nose and just threw it away. They believed the seat of consciousness was the heart, the ib.
And they had that famous image from the Book of the Dead. The scale.
The wing of the heart against Mat, the feather of truth. This gives us such a profound insight into energy maintenance.
How so?
They believed that living a lie, being inauthentic to yourself, makes the heart physically heavy.
It clogs the system.
It clogs the whole system.
Right.
So in their energy map, pure energy requires radical authenticity. You can't have flow if you're lying to yourself or to others.
It's so interesting how that aligns with modern psychology.
Yeah.
The cognitive load of keeping up a lie is exhausting.
It literally weighs you down.
And just quickly, we touched on it with the Yoruba, but the tribal connection in places like Hawaii adds one more layer. It's not just internal.
Right. Concepts like mana in Hawaii teach that power isn't just a battery inside your skin. It exists in your relationship to the network.
To nature, to community.
You can't be powerful in isolation. If you destroy your environment or betray your community, your mana just drains away. You're part of a much larger circuit.
Okay, so we've got this incredible toolkit. India gives us the operating system. China gives us the electrical grid. Tibet gives us the horse and rider. Egypt gives us the weight of truth. But here's the problem.
I know the problem.
I'm a modern person. I have a job, a mortgage, tons of stress. I can't remember 7 chakras, 12 meridians, and a feather every time I get overwhelmed.
Of course not.
So how do we synthesize this into something usable?
We can simplify it. We can propose a unified map built from all these sources. Think of it like a hierarchy of 6 domains. When you feel off, you just run a quick diagnostic check on these 6 levels in order.
Okay, walk us through the hierarchy. What's level 1?
Domain 1 is body base. This is the Indian root and the Chinese lower battery. It's brutally simple.
Sleep, food, safety.
That's it. If you are sleep deprived, you are physically compromised. Nothing else on this list will work if this is broken.
Got it. Domain 2.
Emotion flow. This is checking for stagnation. Is the feeling stuck? Do you need to cry or scream or just shake it out?
Domain 3.
Will agency. This is your solar plexus. Do you feel in control or do you feel passive? Are you making choices or are choices just being made for you?
Domain 4 is a big one for a lot of people.
Heart connection. Do you feel isolated? Are you cutting yourself off from others?
And domain 5.
Truth expression. This is that Egyptian heavy heart check. Is there a lump in your throat? Are you swallowing your words?
And finally, domain 6.
Awareness mind. Can you observe your thoughts or are you just drowning in them?
The crucial part of this isn't just the list, though. It's the golden rule that the sources pointed to.
Don't skip steps.
Don't skip steps.
This is where most modern people fail. We try to solve a domain 1 problem with a domain 6 solution.
What do you mean?
You're exhausted, hungry, and you haven't slept. Your body base is crashing, and you try to fix it by meditating.
You're trying to mindfulness your way out of starvation.
Exactly. It's never going to work. If the foundation is crumbling, you can't start building the roof.
Fix the base first.
Fix the base, eat a sandwich, get some sleep, then you can meditate.
Eat a sandwich is valid spiritual advice. Love it. Okay, we promised we'd move from theory to practice.
So let's do it.
We're going to do a 5-minute energy scan. This is a little workshop you can do anywhere, at your desk, in your car eyes open, please, or before meeting.
It's all about reconnecting the rider and the horse.
Step 1 is come home. We'll just take about 1 minute for this.
And all you're going to do is breathe. Simple breathing. You're not trying to force calm. You're not trying to change anything yet.
You're just signaling to the horse.
You're just signaling to your body that the rider is present. You're bringing your attention back inside your own skin.
Step 2 is the scan. 2 minutes for this. I want you to quickly rate those 6 domains we just talked about on a scale of 0 to 10.
And don't overthink it. Just a gut feeling.
Yeah. Body, am I hungry?
Wait.
Truth, did I say what I wanted to say today? Well, did I make my own choices?
Be honest, it's just data. You're the mechanic looking at the dashboard. No judgment, just the readings.
And step 3 is the micro choice. This is the agency part.
A most important part.
You identify the lowest score. So let's say my body score is a 2 because I haven't moved from my desk in 6 hours.
Then you pick one small action, not a grand ritual. We are not going on a retreat.
Okay.
If body is low, drink a glass of water. Or just stand in the sun for 2 minutes.
What if emotion is the lowest? If I just feel stuck?
Sigh. Loudly, literally, let out a sound. The vibration stimulates the vagus nerve. Or just write 5 angry lines on a piece of paper to get it out of your head.
And if will is low, if I feel powerless?
Clean one dish. Tidy one corner of your desk. Delete one email.
Achieve a small win.
You have to prove to your nervous system that you can impact your environment.
What about truth, if that's low?
Hum a song. Just hum. It vibrates the vocal cords and it physically unlocks that throat area. It tells your body it's safe to make a sound.
The philosophy here is really beautiful because it lowers the bar so much. The goal isn't to fix your entire life in 5 minutes.
No, the goal is one small, honest choice that tells your body, I am listening. That's how you build trust between you and your vessel. Most of us have broken that trust. We ignore the signals for years. This is how you start to rebuild that relationship.
So, zooming out,
Yeah.
what does this all mean for us navigating the modern world? We have iPhones and deadlines. We're not ancient villagers.
It means we need to reframe our symptoms. We treat anxiety or that feeling of heaviness like enemies. We try to numb them or fight them.
Right.
But if we use these maps, we realize that feeling overwhelmed or heavy isn't a sign that you are broken. It's a sign that your energy system is working correctly.
It's the check engine light.
Yeah.
You don't take a hammer to the dashboard when the light comes on.
You check the engine. Exactly. The symptom is a request for your attention. You aren't lost. You were just being called to come home to your body.
And these ancient maps.
Whether they're from India, China, or Egypt, they're guides to help you find the way back.
That feels like a really solid place to stick a pin in it for today.
Ah,
But we are not done with this topic.
not even close.
The research stack was just too big for one deep dive. So in the next episode, EP Put 75, we're going even deeper. We're going to look at the blueprints of the Indian system, specifically the 72,000 nadis, the energy channels.
And we have to tackle the really controversial topic of Kundalini.
Oh,
Is it a biological sex drive? Or is it a mechanism for spiritual awakening? The sources on that are wild. Some of the accounts read like science fiction.
I cannot wait for that one.
But before we go, I want to leave you with a final thought to chew on.
Okay.
We talk a lot about getting energy or fixing our energy, but consider this. Energy fills the space it's given. If you are constantly shrinking yourself, holding back your truth, or numbing your senses, there's no room for the energy to enter.
So you have to make space first.
Try to inhabit your world fully. Occupy your own space with stillness and truth, and then see what fills it.
Thanks for diving deep with us. We'll see you next time.